Thanks, man. How you doing? Duff here. We are going for a range test on the MSX. I'm just gonna sit there like a dumbass. All right, I'm gonna go around you. Dumbass. All right. So usually when I do a range test, I'm usually going Ave Maria. We're gonna do something different this day, or this time. I'm gonna go towards town. I'm gonna ride from our house to North Collier Regional Park. It's a pretty good haul. It's a more populated ride, busier roads, so that's a negative, I guess, but just trying to do something different. Don't want to go out to Ave Maria every single time. But here she is. Other than a quick 5-minute ride, the night that I got her, I have not been back out on the MSX. Today is Saturday. You'll notice that the front of it looks a little different than stock. That is actually a reworked front bumper slash kickstand. Those of you may have seen that Marty did a video on a 3D printed model that was modeled by Rue Williams, which also Mickey MacLeod from EVX was involved in. I guess a couple years ago, Mickey shot a bunch of pictures of the nose of the MSX to 3D model it. And Rue is the one that designed this, so there are some people that have this out there. I redid the model. I cut off some of it to make it easier to print. I thickened it, and I beveled some edges, kind of changed the shape of it a little bit just to make it a little bit more aesthetically pleasing to me, at least. And yeah, so I've been testing it out. Right now I just have it stuck on with double-sided tape. I was planning to add a couple screw holes to this, so if someone does want to screw it in place, they can. So what this does is it serves two purposes. Let's turn this off for a second. It allows you to rotate the wheel forward and sit it on that flat bumper. It's a nice flat surface, so it allows the wheel to be parked in that manner. So that's attractive to some people. And the other thing that this does is it provides, like if you were to wreck and the nose goes down, the MSX are famous or infamous for, you know, when they are dumped at a high speed, quite often the nose will split open. What this bumper will do, hopefully, is if that situation comes up, it will absorb that initial impact for you. You know, so the 3D print absorbs most of that energy, so hopefully your shell absorbs less. So in theory, that's what hopefully it would do for you. So I plan to, like I said, add holes to it so it can be screwed on if you want. And I'll throw it up in the store. I also have the model up on Thingiverse, so if you have a 3D printer, you know, you're welcome to download the model and print it yourself. You know, since I didn't get the original, I figured I should put it up on Thingiverse. It is a proper attribution. There's an attribution to Rue on my Thingiverse page that indicates that this was created from a mix of his original design. So that's the way Thingiverse works. So okay, enough about that. Let's talk about the MSX. Okay, so as far as my riding stance goes, I typically have very little contact with the case of the wheel. Just the way that my feet are situated and the way that my skinny calves kind of bow out. I feel like I have even less contact with this wheel than the other wheels that I normally ride, the 16X, 18XL, and the Monster. So yeah, I have very minimal contact with the case itself with my normal riding position, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. All right, I've already seen the speedometer on this cross 30 miles an hour very easily. This wheel just wants to run. It really does. I am pretty sure I've already eclipsed whatever best speed that I did on the Monster last week. And I'm not even trying hard, believe me. I just glanced at my wrist and saw 32. It's kind of nuts. Those of you that did not see my live stream when I unboxed it earlier this week, this is the 1860 watt-hour model. So it has a rather large battery, largest battery of any wheel that I currently own. So it'll be interesting to see how it works out. Now, I am not going a speed that is optimal to maximize range. I am just going. You know, whatever speed I feel like going, I'm going. And right now that speed is about 30 miles an hour. So when you're going 30 miles an hour, you are not going to be getting maximum range. But I'm not really looking to get maximum range. I'm just trying to get a real world idea of what I can expect out of this wheel if I'm riding it, not concerned about throttling my speed in any way. As far as my stats, I'm about 6'3". My riding weight is probably at least 190 pounds with all the gear and stuff, probably more than that actually. So it's moving a decent amount of weight along with a lot of wind drag. You know, I'm not a little 130-pound rider. I haven't checked my tire PSI. It feels right about where I like to ride it though. Probably, you know, mid 20s, 25, 26 if I was to take a guess. Has enough give to be comfortable. I'm not noticing any speed wobbles whatsoever. This thing is tracking super straight, super smooth. Very stable at speed. So since I am a county government employee, I do get the luxury of Monday off for President's Day. So I have a nice 3-day weekend ahead of me. I don't have lots of chores and labor on the docket right now, so I'm hoping to get a lot of time on the MSX to, you know, test various aspects of it. But I can tell you already, this thing is fast. Fast. It wants to go fast. It does not want to putz around at 20 miles an hour. Absolutely not. Poor biker. And he's actually carrying some decent speed. All right, now that we're on the path here, we can safely get a little bit more of a sense of how it feels carving. Again, the lack of much contact with the case kind of affects it a little bit. You know, I could always remedy that situation with some of the third-party padding that you've seen for the MSX. Not sure if I'll find that necessary or not, but I mean, it feels good here carving. I had talked to Matthias, you know, told him that I'd be interested in putting some power pads on this. His LED light controller. Look forward to it. Feeling a little beat up again today, but that's more. Well, I think more often than not, I feel beat up than I don't, to be honest with you. At this age, something always kind of hurts. But yesterday I had an active day. I was at lunch. I did my 400 rep workout, which I've been doing every other week, where I'm basically doing a circuit between 4 exercises, and it's pull-ups, push-ups, hanging knee raises, and body weight dips. I'm rotating micro sets quickly with as little rest as possible, so it turns out to be 100 reps of each motion. I did that at lunch. And then after work, I went and ran. And that wasn't much fun because it was almost like summer-like conditions with high humidity and temps in the low 80s. So that was kind of ass-busting. And then last night I also Worked at the office. I had to do some, I had to install 3 network switches and relocate 3 network servers, rack servers, myself. And if you ever mess with the rack servers, they're a little heavy. So I definitely think I got my exertion work in for the day yesterday. All right, so here we are. We're almost at Collier Boulevard already, thanks to the almost constant 30-mile-an-hour pace I was keeping. This car wash is new. They've added so much stuff here. Car wash was just opened up a few weeks ago. So my plan is to go to Collier here, and then I'm going to make a left. We're going to go Collier to Livingston. It's kind of the route that I take when I commute to work on my EUC, which actually I'm thinking about doing again soon. So I was thinking about taking either the MSX or the 16X to work someday. I just had a wonky dismount, and I went down and grabbed it, and my finger hit the bumper in the front, and it came loose. That's one of the advantages of or disadvantages of it, just double-sided tape. It could come off, but I got it stuck back on there. I think it'll stay there. I didn't plan this very well. I should have came the back way and just swung out. So instead I'm doing a long extended U-turn here. All right. Do you guys see that video of the guy, supposedly it's a Bay Area again, guy riding on the highway on his EUC, with a big ass backpack on? I wouldn't be surprised if it's the same guy that was riding on the Bay Bridge before. Clueless, man. Totally clueless. The exact kind of behavior that's going to put a big nasty spotlight on our hobby and stereotype it. Just, you know, use your brain, guys. Come on. While I'm waiting here at this traffic light, I just took a look at wheel log. Top speed it recorded so far, 33.3 miles per hour. This pretty much has tied or eclipsed my fastest speed ever on the Monster within the first half hour of riding the MSX. Yep. Did I say it's fast? Yeah, it's fast. So Mickey from EVX said, you know, if I hit 37 miles an hour, I would officially not be a no-skill zombie rider. So I don't know that I plan to try to hit that today on my first real ride on the wheel, but you know, certain conditions I could definitely see that I'd be able to do that. It's not a speed that I would feel comfortable at riding for duration, but I really have no doubt that the MSX is capable of that and much more, actually. I can tell you, riding position wise, it feels a little weird because these are the Nicola pedals, which have a less extreme dihedral angle than the stock MSX pedals, which is seen as an advantage to most people. But I can tell you right now, I'm feeling some weird angles being exerted on my ankles and calves that I'm not quite used to. So again, it's just getting used to it, I guess, but I can definitely tell a difference. Oh, wow. He is jamming out while he's riding, man. He's dancing in the seat. Epic. I can also tell you already that I feel a noticeable difference as far as the way this feels accelerating and decelerating compared to the 16X. 16X feels more responsive at that lower range. I guess that is to be expected with a smaller diameter wheel. Typically they will have more torque, they'll feel more torquey than a larger wheel. But I definitely do feel a difference. It just when I've been trying to, a couple times I tried to brake a little hard, accelerate a little bit, does not feel as lively at those lower speeds as the 16X. And even I would say the 18XL actually feels a little bit more responsive at those lower speeds to me than this does. The difference is at the top end, it just keeps pushing and pushing and pushing. it does 30 miles an hour. It's very weird. Like, and this is a speed that I would not, obviously, I would not ride my KingSong wheels at 30 because it's too close to their max. The Monster I would, but you know, generally speaking, I don't feel comfortable going 30 miles an hour and above. And at least so far, that speed feels pretty comfortable on this wheel. Those of you that are visually astute may recognize this as the same path that Deb, Cindy, and I rode last week in our threesome video, doing the Oak Square. So basically, I'm not going to be doing the square, but I'm going to be going to the park, take a load off my feet and reversing, and see where we're at mileage-wise there and battery-wise. All right, we made it to the park in record time. Oh, the water park's open. Water park is open on weekends now again. It's always nice. But yeah, man, we made it here faster than ever. I don't do this ride from home very often, but I'll tell you, this is definitely the fastest I've ever covered the distance, man. I think I've mentioned in previous rides how they've broken ground on a park of supposedly of similar size to this out by us, you know, like only a few miles from the house. And I've been out that way to drop off some stuff at the recycling center, and they're already actively clearing dirt. And I figured it's going to be a couple of years till they're done. I talked to someone when I was at the gym this week that works for the county in one of the departments that's involved with projects. He said that park is supposed to be open in June of this year, which blew me away. I'm like, holy shit, are you serious? That'd be awesome if that's true. To have something this nice, that close, that would be amazing. Just trying to find a nice little bench area for me to sit down to review my numbers and take a load off my feet because they kind of are sore. A little bit sore. All right, here we go. This should do. We can watch the people playing whatever over there. Okay, let's fire up wheel log here. EUC World is what I'm using. Wheel temperature 108 degrees Fahrenheit. So it was just about 18 miles I've gone so far. So it's very similar distance-wise coming here as it is going to Ave Maria. Very similar distance-wise. Top speed still 33.3 miles an hour. The battery is at 63%. After 18 miles of riding, I figure I'll be probably riding somewhat slower on the way back, but yeah, 18 miles of my average riding pace on this was about 25 miles an hour, but every time I look at the watch, it said I was doing, you know, 28 to 31, so I did not try to limit my speed whatsoever. So it's going well so far, really well. I see footballs getting tossed around over there, so I don't know if it's like flag football that they're doing. They're on the one of the AstroTurf fields. Although I don't see flags, maybe it's two-hand touch. Never seen football being played at this park. It is indeed flag football. I see, I think it's females, it looks like. All right, after chilling for maybe 15 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever, we're ready to resume. Pushing back. It's weird, the spot on my feet that hurt is like out here. It's a spot that I'm not accustomed to having discomfort in, so I'm not sure exactly what the physics are of this wheel on my feet. It's definitely gonna take a little bit of getting used to. So I'm just gonna do one lap around the pathway here in the back and head back out of the park. Cindy and I are supposed to go out to dinner tonight. I guess it would be our official Valentine's Day dinner. Trying to go out on dinner on Valentine's Day itself is not a fun proposition at all. So, yeah. Hoping to go to Carrabba's. Pretty spot back here to ride. When you get here later in the day, you know, right now it's mid-afternoon, you don't have as many people on the path, so that's a bonus. All right, exiting the park, and instead of crossing the road and riding bike lane at high speed, I'm gonna kind of chill out a little bit more, keep my speed down on the sidewalk here. Just mix it up a little bit. Well, that's a new experience, a new low. Just cruising along here, and somebody coming the other direction thought it was cool to stick his head out the window and call me well, I don't even want to say it, a slur for gay people. Thought it was cool. Of course, he was very brave going the other direction. Very cool. But you know, people like that, I really try not to give them any energy, if at all possible, because they're not worth it, really, to be honest with you. And they're cowards. Kind of crazy though, and you know, almost 4 years of riding and never had anyone, you know, be an asshole like that. So maybe I'm lucky, I don't know. Sooner or later, you're gonna bump into one, right? So I'm thinking a good plan would be for me to stop at the, there's a Dunkin' Donuts up here at the intersection of Vanderbilt Beach Road and Collier. I think it would be a good idea for me to stop and fuel up. Even though I've already had one extra large Dunkin' Donuts coffee already today, I am definitely on the tired side. And some artificial stimulation would probably do me good. All right, here we are. Let's go fuel up. Wheel is getting quite dusty from the ride. I didn't realize it. I didn't realize I went through dusty areas, but I guess I did. Just doing a quick battery check. It says I'm at 48%, and it's been about a 25-mile ride already. So wow. All right, I'm gonna switch over to coffee drinking position, and we will be resuming. All right, so we're gonna stay on the sidewalk here and crossing the crosswalk. There's another path on the far side of the road in front of the church. We'll ride that to Immokalee Road, and then be burning down the bike lane for the rest of the ride. This is a good little test though. Good range test. So if I'm at, you know, just about 25 miles and 48% battery remaining with me hammering it like that, for that amount of distance, I would say if I was doing more conventional, 18 to 20 miles an hour, that this would easily be a 50-mile wheel. I would assume that would be the case. Riding the way that I'm riding, at the speeds I've been averaging, it's probably more like a 40-mile wheel, but still, that's pretty damn impressive. Very good. Really nice day today. Yesterday, it was very humid. It almost felt like summer, unfortunately. For my run last night, it really was not fun. Today feels better. This morning it felt significantly cooler. Humidity's not as bad. Temps in the low 80s, so it's not cool, but it feels to the skin. It feels much better than it did yesterday. Lower back's hurting again. What else is new? All Oh wow, another development. Imagine that. Abaco Point. Southwest Florida is filled with these developments. Yeah, they're beautiful. I mean, but you have to be okay with cookie cutter homes that all look very similar on postage stamp size lots and exorbitant HOA fees. If you're okay with that, move to Florida, because you'll have a never-ending supply of this type of housing. And of course, it's incredibly expensive as well. Like, let's see, what does the sign say here? Abaco, starting from the low 300s, starting there. So it means that they scale much, much higher. I bet the top end is $500,000 and more. It's weird, that discomfort that I had in my feet for most of the ride here, for most of the ride back, it's disappeared. Seems odd that it would work itself out that quickly, but yeah, right now my feet feel pretty good actually. Let's see if we can make this work without having to step off the wheel. I doubt it though, because the traffic's coming. I doubt it. Yeah, we're gonna stop to be safe here. Just to be safe. Because I don't know if you realize this, but drivers can be unpredictable at times. If you've ever noticed. All right, home stretch. What do we got, about 9 miles to go? Something like that? Talking about drivers being unpredictable, last night on my way home from the office, I'm on the road and I'm behind someone. It's dark out, obviously, and behind someone that has one of those mounts where their phone is on the dash, facing them, so it's in their field of view at all times. You know, because God forbid if you aren't looking at your phone for, you know, 15-20 seconds. You might miss something. So yeah, so he had it mounted there in the dash. And I'm curious, I have a feeling that's probably illegal. Having it mounted on the dash isn't illegal, but if you're interacting with your phone at all while you're driving, you know, touching it, typing on it, that's illegal. So I was behind this guy and his phone was lit up and he was, I don't know, scrolling through something, not paying attention obviously, and it annoyed me. So I passed him. But when we got up to the light at Davis Boulevard, there's 3 lanes of traffic turning left. I'm in the middle lane and he's in the left lane. So we have 2 of the 3 left turning lanes of traffic taken up. Light turns green, and you know, when you are making a turn, when multiple cars are making a turn in multiple lanes, you keep your vehicle inside the dotted lines, so you maintain position as you turn. So we're going through this turn, and this genius with his dash-mounted cell phone started cutting into my lane. I don't know if he was just not paying attention. I'm not sure what was going on. Hello. Sign person. Yeah, he started cutting in my lane. So I laid on the horn heavy. I'm like, well, you know, of course, a few expletives came out, and yeah, it was just, I'm pretty sure he just wasn't paying attention because he was too busy being hypnotized by his freaking phone, man. It's just ridiculous. So sick of it. All of a sudden, just blew into like a massive headwind. Everything tipped back there. Like I said, I'm keeping my speed lower now. I'd say 20 to 25, and less right now because of this freaking headwind. Holy crap. I don't know how well it's showing in the GoPro, but you can kind of see the trees blowing my direction. Oh, I know something exciting that I forgot to mention. I mentioned in the live stream, and I think the video from last week as well, that Rama and Marty had both mentioned something to me about coming out to the LA EUC games, and at the time my immediate assumption was because of my work schedule that really wouldn't be doable. But just for the hell of it, I decided to push it a little bit and see if I could indeed get the time off to go out there. And lo and behold, I was granted that time. So as of now, I am going to plan on attending the LA EUC games. Should be kind of crazy. I hope to get out there a couple days before to, you know, do some of the group rides with Marty. Maybe even get a shot at Overheat Hill. Wouldn't that be crazy? So yeah, that comes up. EUC games is like the third weekend in October, I think. Like the 24th, 25th, maybe something like that. Don't have the exact dates. I'll have the exact dates here. But yeah, I'm hoping to be there. Should be exciting. Wow, this headwind is brutal right now. Brutal. It's not a great situation to be going into your strongest headwind during the last, 15% of your ride. I'm hoping up here though, once Mockbee Road swings to the left, it does a big bend to the left, almost a 90-degree turn, that things will improve, because this is not good. All right, my feet are properly numb at this point. Definitely not a unique experience to the MSX. Pretty much any wheel, no matter the pedal size, it doesn't matter. After, I don't know what I'm at, 35 miles? I'm not sure what I'm at. 32 miles, whatever. My feet are gonna hurt. Just can't get away from it. Last traffic light before home.
It's awesome, bro.
Thanks, man. Even though the riding battery level, supposedly, according to EUC World, is 9%, I'm still tracking 22, 23. No beeps yet. So I know I had mentioned before how I was questioning the battery level reading in the app. Marty says something about there's a setting under your the app settings for the battery where you can flip it to one setting or another, and the default setting is not the setting that you want. I went to battery settings in the app, and for whatever reason, it was like I saw it as a menu option, but it was grayed out. Like I couldn't interact with that at all. So I'm not sure what the deal is there. If anyone has any insight to that, I'd appreciate any information you could give me. Still maintaining 22, 23. No beeps. And about half mile to go. Been a great ride. M Super Trolley, nowhere near as good as the KingSong options, without a doubt. It works, but I mean, you don't have very solid control with it. All right, I hear the fan running, much quieter than the fan in my Nikola Plus, which was extremely loud. This fan is not very loud. I know I said it before, but man, this helmet's heavy. Still got a sore neck. All right, so looking at the lights, I have two lights on the M Super, which should mean 40% normally. It's a max is 5 lights. I'm talking about the tail light. Full, you have 5 lights. So I currently am showing 2. So according to EUC World, 16% battery left. According to the lights on the back of this thing, it should be closer to 40. So again, it has to be that battery setting, I guess. Total distance, 36.5 miles. So that was almost exactly like what an Ave Maria ride would be. So that's good to know. Wheel temperature, this is reporting 104 degrees Fahrenheit. Very cool, 39 degrees Celsius. So yeah, it's running cool for sure. I wanted to go into battery settings one more time and see if I can change that setting that he's talking about. Yeah, like there's a battery level under general settings where you choose to select the battery algorithm. It's totally grayed out. I cannot change it. Not sure why that is, but I bet someone out there does know, and someone hopefully will tell me. Okay, so what did I think about that initial length It's my first real ride, and like I said, I only rode it for a few minutes on Monday, just up and down the side street. So this was my first prolonged riding experience, and yeah, it was really good. The feel of this wheel, how it just is so comfortable at speed, and it just wants to go, go, go. Top speed that I hit on that ride was 33.3 miles an hour, according to EUC World. So, and it definitely had more to give. I could have gone faster, but I think that's something that I should only delve into in special occasions and not very frequently, that's for sure. And with great caution. Ride was comfortable. The weird feeling I had in my feet sort of dissipated over time until my feet went numb totally, which is going to happen with a ride of that length. I shouldn't be surprised because I loved my old M Super, my M Super V3, which is basically a very similar design to this. I had a smaller tire and less motor, but I mean, as far as aesthetically, the way that it fit me, I mean, it feels similar. Not 100%, but it does feel similar, other than the much expanded top end this thing has, because the M Super V3 67 volt that I had, I think I might have gotten up to 25, 26 miles an hour a couple times, but that was pushing it. So this definitely has a lot more MPH built into it for sure. So like I said, I have a 3-day weekend, so I'll have some more time to do some more testing. We'll see what comes up next. Maybe we'll get some other people involved in riding tomorrow. We will see. If you found this ride interesting, please give it a big thumbs up. If this is your first time visiting the channel, please consider subscribing. If you're going to subscribe, you may as well hit the notify bell, which is over here. Last time I checked, I think it's over there somewhere. Closing in on 8,000 subscribers to the channel, so that'd be a nice milestone. If I could get that sooner rather than later, you could help me get there. Feel free to leave your comments, suggestions, ideas, and thoughts below. And that's all I have for you for now. Hope if you have a 3-day weekend like me, you enjoy it. And I will talk to you again soon. Till next time, Duffman out. My babies. Babies. Get this big sucker on here. What's up, Elsa? Good girl.